Max, a tiny giant, is seen among the towering giants of his village. While the others are over twice his size, Max is barely taller than a human. He watches from afar as the other giants train for battles, lifting heavy boulders and practicing their strength. Max tries to participate but struggles with the tasks. Though small, his determination shines as he carries a small rock and tries to emulate his peers. They mock him for his size, and Max leaves, feeling disheartened but not defeated. Alone in his small corner of the village, Max looks at his reflection in a pond. He questions why he was born different from the other giants and wonders if he'll ever be able to prove himself. Despite his doubts, he clenches his fists and vows to find a way to make an impact, regardless of his size. As he stares at his reflection, a gust of wind blows, symbolizing the change coming his way. One day, the village elder announces that the dark forest, home to many dangerous creatures, has become increasingly treacherous. The giants are tasked with defending the village from any threat. The elder warns that anyone entering the forest must be ready for whatever lurks within. The other giants scoff at the idea of Max joining them, but Max listens closely, feeling a pull to prove himself. Max approaches the village elder, asking if he can help protect the village. The elder looks at Max sympathetically, but says that bravery is not measured by size. He advises Max to find another way to contribute, as the giants need strength for this mission. Max, determined to prove the elder wrong, sets his sights on entering the dark forest alone to show he can be brave despite his stature. In the dead of night, Max prepares a small pack, filling it with supplies for his journey into the forest. He sneaks past the sleeping giants, making his way toward the edge of the dark forest. The towering trees loom over him, but Max feels a sense of excitement. This is his chance to show the world that size doesn't define courage. As Max steps into the dark forest, the atmosphere changes. Shadows twist and strange sounds echo through the trees. Max's heart pounds in his chest, but he presses forward, determined to find something that will prove his bravery. He remembers the elder's words and uses them to keep his fear at bay. Deep in the forest, Max hears a rustling sound behind him. Before he can react, a massive, two-headed creature emerges from the darkness. Its growls shake the ground, and Max realizes that this is one of the legendary monsters the giants were meant to guard against. Despite his fear, Max stands his ground, knowing that he must face the creature head-on. Realizing that he can't fight the creature with brute strength, Max uses his size to his advantage. He dodges the creature's attacks and climbs up a nearby tree. From there, he hurls small rocks at the creature, distracting it long enough to tie its legs with a vine he had brought with him. The creature, confused and immobilized, roars in frustration as Max watches from above. Using his quick thinking, Max pulls the vine tight, tripping the creature. It crashes to the ground, defeated but unharmed. Max feels a surge of pride as he realizes that he, the smallest giant, has bested one of the forest's most fearsome creatures. His heart swells with a newfound sense of accomplishment. Days pass, and the village begins to hear reports of more creatures emerging from the dark forest. This time, the creatures are larger and more aggressive, threatening to attack the village. The giants prepare for battle, gathering their weapons and fortifying their defenses. Max watches from the sidelines, feeling conflicted. The creatures finally arrive, and the giants charge into battle. However, the creatures are far more powerful than they expected. The giants struggle to hold them off, and the village begins to fall into chaos. Max watches from a distance, his heart racing as he realizes that the giants, despite their size and strength, are losing the fight. As the battle intensifies, Max feels the weight of his decision. Should he stay back and remain unseen, or should he join the fight despite the giants' doubt in him? Remembering his victory over the creature in the forest, Max knows that this is his chance to prove himself once and for all. Max grabs his makeshift weapons and rushes into the battlefield. The giants are shocked to see him joining the fight, but Max doesn't hesitate. He uses his agility and clever tactics to outmaneuver the creatures, targeting their weak points and distracting them long enough for the other giants to regroup. Realizing that the creatures are too powerful for a head-on attack, Max directs the giants to focus on outsmarting the creatures rather than overpowering them. With his guidance, the giants begin to work together in a new way, using strategy instead of brute force. Slowly, they start to gain the upper hand. In the midst of the battle, Max comes face to face with the largest and most fearsome creature yet. It towers over him, its eyes glowing with fury. The other giants are too busy to help, and Max knows that this is a fight he must face alone. Despite the creature's size and power, Max stands his ground. He remembers the elders' words about courage and knows that this is his moment. Using the same strategy he employed in the forest, Max dodges the creature's attacks and finds a way to trap it with a nearby net. With the creature trapped, Max signals to the other giants, who deliver the final blow. The creature is defeated, and the remaining creatures flee back into the dark forest. The giants cheer in victory, but Max remains humble, knowing that it was teamwork, not just his own efforts, that saved the village. As the battle ends, the giants gather around Max. For the first time, they look at him with respect and admiration. They realize that it wasn't size or strength that won the battle, but Max's courage, intelligence, and leadership. The village elder smiles, proud of the young giant who has finally proven his worth. The village holds a celebration in honor of the giant's victory. Max is given a place of honor, and the other giants lift him onto their shoulders, cheering for the smallest giant who saved them all. Despite the attention, Max remains modest, knowing that his journey is far from over. Later that night, Max returns to his favorite spot by the pond. He looks at his reflection again, but this time, he sees a giant who has earned the respect of his peers. He realizes that it wasn't his size that made him small, but his own doubts. Now, he feels as tall as any of the other giants.
Don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more fun songs as well as interesting and enjoyable stories.